All right, so welcome back, everyone. I hope you all had a wonderful break. Even I have to admit, after some time off, sometimes I get a little rusty with, the whole office chit-chat thing.
It's like you forget how to interact.
Yeah, exactly. So for this deep dive, we're tackling something super practical, how to rock those first few days back at work conversations.
And make it feel, not forced or awkward.
Right, because no one wants to go back to work and just feel that awkward tension in the air.
Exactly.
So you gave us some great tips and tricks for navigating this, and we're going to break them down together so you can go back to the office feeling like a total small talk ninja.
I love that small talk ninja. That's great.
Right. So first of all, what's interesting about this is that we often dread small talk, but it actually serves a really important purpose, right?
It does. It's almost like I like to think of it as the warm-up act for a deeper connection.
Ooh, I like that. So it's not just about filling the silence.
No, it's not.
It's about laying the groundwork for real relationships, which is so important in the workplace.
Absolutely.
So you gave us a bunch of great opening lines. Things like, welcome back. How was your holiday break? Or, Happy New Year. Nice to see you back.
Mm-hmm.
What makes these such good starting points for conversation?
Well, they're, first of all, simple and friendly. You're acknowledging the break and expressing warmth, but you're not forcing someone to give you a super detailed answer.
Right. You're not cornering them with tell me everything.
Exactly.
Tell me all the juicy details. So it's really like dipping your toe in the water.
Yes, definitely. Just testing the waters.
Now, let's be honest, that classic, how was your break, can get a little repetitive.
Yes, it can.
What are some ways to kind of spice up those initial exchanges? Make them a little more interesting.
I think instead of just focusing on the how, tap into some specifics. You could ask, did you do anything special over the break?
Ooh, I like that.
It encourages people to share those positive memories. And who doesn't love recounting a good time, right?
Exactly. We all want to share those good memories.
It creates that sense of shared joy and connection.
Right. Even if it's just like, oh, I finally slept in past 8 a.m.
Exactly. Something small, but still.
It's still a win. Now, what about if you're talking to someone who seems a bit more adventurous? They're always posting pictures of their travels on social media or something. How do you engage with that?
Oh, then you definitely play to that, right? Just a simple, did you travel anywhere?
Simple and to the point.
That can open up, a treasure chest of stories, travel tips. You might even get inspired for your next vacation.
Right. Where should I go next? Okay, so that's hitting that desire to share experiences. But let's be real. Not everyone is, jet setting off to exotic locales.
Of course, not everyone has that luxury.
How do you keep the conversation interesting when someone's break might have been more low-key?
You can focus on those more universal holiday themes, right? So something like, did you get to spend any quality time with family? Because for a lot of people, that's really the heart of the holidays.
Yeah, that family time.
Exactly. Or even something like, did you enjoy all the Christmas decorations around town? It just sparks conversation about a shared experience, even if it was just appreciating the festive atmosphere.
Yeah, like everyone can relate to that feeling of the holidays being in the air, even if they didn't do anything super extravagant. I love these.
They're more personal.
They are.
Yeah.
So much better than that robotic, how was your break?
Yeah.
It feels more genuine, more like you're actually interested in their experience.
Exactly, not just going through the motions, and that's key, right?
Right.
Small talk shouldn't feel like an interrogation.
It shouldn't.
It's about sparking connection.
I love that. All right, so we've got some great opening lines.
We do.
But I know that even with the best conversation starters, sometimes you need an escape route.
Oh, absolutely.
So how do you gracefully exit a chat without seeming rude?
This is where I think reading social cues is really vital. If someone is giving you one-word answers or constantly checking their phone,
Yeah, those are pretty clear signs.
that's your signal to wrap things up. A good tactic is to tie your exit to work.
Oh, clever.
Something like, well, I should probably check my emails now, or something.
Right, like subtly signaling, okay, we're shifting back into work mode now.
Exactly.
It's not about them being boring. It's just about being responsible.
Right.
Now, what if you're in a situation where you need to make a quick exit? Like you're running late for a meeting or something.
You can be a bit more direct, but still polite. You can just say something like, anyway, I've got a meeting in a few minutes.
Right. Or I need to prep for this morning's tasks.
Exactly. You're letting them know you're not ditching them out of disinterest.
It's about respecting their time as well.
Yes, absolutely.
But even with a quick exit, you want to leave a positive impression.
Absolutely.
So what are some ways to do that?
Well, you can use polite closing phrases, just a simple, "It was nice catching up with you," or "Glad to hear you had a good break," or even a casual, "Let's catch up properly over lunch sometime." You're showing that you enjoyed the chat, even if it was brief.
Yeah, it's like leaving the door open for a future connection.
Uh,
I like that. Okay, so we've covered opening lines, we've covered engaging questions, and even some exit strategies.
right.
What are some general golden rules to keep in mind when it comes to office small talk?
Keep it light and brief. Small talk should be a pleasant interlude, not a deep dive into someone's personal life or super controversial topics.
Oh, definitely. Keep it light.
Think of it as a little appetizer, not the main course.
I love that analogy.
Right.
So no grilling your colleagues about their finances or relationship drama over the coffee machine.
Exactly. Those boundaries are important, for maintaining that professional and comfortable atmosphere.
Hmm.
You want people to enjoy those interactions, not dread them.
Yeah, you don't want people hiding from you in the break room.
It-
So we've talked about how to start those conversations.
Yes.
And even how to make a smooth getaway when you need to.
Easy for you.
Yes, the escape route, exactly. But what about, the actual back and forth of the conversation?
Meat of it.
Yeah, the media. I know I sometimes, personally, I struggle with, how to respond in a way that shows I'm actually listening and not just waiting for my turn to talk.
Yeah.
So how do you really become an active listener in those small talk moments?
I think it's not just about hearing the words, but really absorbing what the other person is saying and then responding in a way that shows that you're engaged, you're really taking it in. Think of it as a dance, right?
And I like how.
You're responding to their cues, building on their energy.
So it's less about having the perfect response lined up in your head
Exactly. Yeah.
and more about just being present in the moment.
Yeah, present and in the moment.
Yeah. Okay, so what are some phrases that can help us, show that we're on the same wavelength with the person we're talking to?
Well, if someone's sharing something positive, like a fun outing they had, mirror that enthusiasm.
Okay.
So something simple like, "That sounds amazing," or "Oh, that must have been really nice," or "How lovely." You're validating their experience.
You're kind of reliving it with them almost.
Exactly, yeah. Adding to their joy.
Okay, now what about when someone's experience was a little more, you know, low-key?
Right.
Like maybe they just stayed home and relaxed. What do you say then?
Acknowledge that choice. Say, "Sounds relaxing," or
Yeah.
"That's nice," or "That's good to hear." You're showing that you're not judging their way of recharging.
Right, because not everyone needs to have climbed a mountain to have had a good break.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so we've covered positive experiences and more relaxed ones. What about when someone mentions, traveling? Do you have to be a travel expert to respond well?
No, not at all. I mean, expressing genuine curiosity is enough. You can say something like, "Oh, wow, I've heard great things about that place," or "That sounds like an awesome trip." It shows that you're interested.
Yeah, it's about drawing them out, not showing off your own, travel knowledge.
Exactly.
Okay, but now what about those times when someone might have had a tougher break?
Right.
Maybe they got sick or had to deal with, a family issue.
Yeah.
How do you respond to that without, prying or making things awkward?
I think empathy is key here, right? A simple, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that," or "That's a shame." It acknowledges their experience without pushing for details they might not want to share.
It's about validating their feelings, even if you don't know the whole story.
Exactly.
But do you just leave it at that? Or is there a way to, offer a little bit of hope?
Yeah, you can definitely offer some upliftment, like, "Hopefully next time will be better," or "Well, at least you're back now and can have a fresh start." It's a delicate balance, but you're showing support without minimizing their experience.
Right. It's acknowledging that not every break is sunshine and rainbows.
Exactly.
But we can still be understanding. Okay, so we've covered how to start, how to respond, how to exit gracefully. What's the big takeaway here? Why should we even bother putting this much thought into small talk?
Well, because those little conversations, those seemingly insignificant conversations, they can actually have a big impact. They help us reconnect with our colleagues, rebuild that rapport after time apart. It sets the tone for a more positive, more engaging work environment.
It's like those small gestures in a friendship.
Exactly.
Checking in, showing you care, just being present.
Mm-hmm.
But I know some people might be thinking ugh, I'm just not a small talk person. What would you say to them?
I'd say small talk is a skill, just like anything else.
Okay.
The more you practice, the more comfortable you become. It doesn't have to be this scary thing.
It's like anything, The more you do it, the less intimidating it
Sure.
seems. And hey, maybe you even surprise yourself and find out that you actually enjoy those little moments of connection.
Maybe. You never know.
But let's be honest, small talk isn't just for the office water cooler, right?
No, it's not. If you think about the bigger picture, you know, these skills are transferable to so many areas of life.
Oh, absolutely.
Like networking events, those first conversations can really make or break your ability to build connections, or even something as simple as chatting with your barista.
That's so true. It can just brighten both your days.
Absolutely.
So it's not just about surviving those first few days back at work.
No.
It's about having these tools in your back pocket for any situation where you need to connect with someone new.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what's exciting about this. By mastering these techniques, you're not just becoming a better office conversationalist, you're becoming a more confident, more engaging person overall.
Okay, so to recap everything we've covered in this deep dive.
Yeah.
So we started with those really simple but effective opening lines to get things going. Like, welcome back. How was your holiday break? Or Happy New Year. Nice to see you back.
And then we looked at how to move beyond those initial greetings with more engaging questions that really spark conversation, like, did you do anything special during the break? Or did you get to spend quality time with family?
And those questions really tap into people's natural desire to share their experiences, which is so important for creating those genuine connections.
Right. It's not just about asking a question. It's about showing a genuine interest in their response.
And then we also discussed how to respond in a way that shows you're actively listening, whether they had a relaxing staycation or an amazing adventure.
We talked about responding with warmth and empathy, really validating the other person's experience, whatever it may have been.
Exactly. And we even covered those graceful exit strategies for those times when you need to wrap things up politely.
Right, because sometimes you just need to get back to work.
Exactly. But I think the most important takeaway from all of this is that these small talk skills, they're not just for the office.
They're for life.
They are. They can be applied to networking events, client interactions, even just casual conversations with strangers. It's really about becoming a more confident and engaging communicator overall.
It's about making those everyday interactions a little bit smoother, a little bit more enjoyable.
Exactly. So as we head back into the swing of things after the break, just remember, small talk doesn't have to be dreadful. With a little bit of preparation and a shift in mindset, it can actually be a powerful tool.
A tool for building relationships, creating a more positive environment, and even, opening doors to new opportunities. You never know where a simple conversation might lead.
That's so true. It's all about connection.
It is.
So on that note, dear listener, we hope you feel a little more equipped and maybe even a little bit excited to tackle those conversations.
Yeah, go out there and spark some amazing connections.
Until next time, happy chatting.